Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Today we're going to be reviewing a bottle that you can get almost anywhere, Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack.
So the Gentleman Jack it's a Jack Daniel's double mellowed. What does double mellowed mean, Rob?
Double mellowed, I believe what double mellowed means is that they've actually double char filtered this. So
when you say char filtered, you mean charcoal, right?
Charcoal filtered, yeah.
Yep.
So it runs through a charcoal filter before it goes in the barrel.
Yep.
Then again, before it gets bottled. And what that's supposed to do is smooth it out. It's supposed to really give it this very, very mellow, smooth. Some people might say it takes away a little bit of the bold flavor profiles when you extra filter things. But for those who are looking for a really smooth experience, that's when this one advertises. That's when we're going to find out.
All right. Let's give it a try.
All right, let's do it. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Right off the bat, I'm getting a much fruitier nose on this one.
I get a fruity nose too. That would be my very, very first. No, it's kind of brown sugary for me.
Yeah, I get that.
Kind of like cobbler-ish.
Yeah, I was just gonna say apple.
Mm-hmm. Would you say green or red apple?
Oh, yeah, probably more in the red, not Red Delicious, which isn't, but
Red Delicious are the worst apples. They're chalky and they're mealy.
But anyway, we're here to talk about whiskey, not apple. I'm getting a red apple. So less tart, more sweet.
Not green. Yeah,
but I think you're right on with the cobbler because I'm also getting a little butteriness to it.
Let me look for butter. Yeah, I think that kind of goes with that brown sugar note that I was talking about. It's kind of like
same thing.
Brown sugar butter.
Right, but I can already tell this is going to coat my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, let's check out. I want to see how viscous it is. See any viscosity to that? Any legs? This is actually, slow moving legs.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't put a lot of stock into legs either. That I don't know what I'm talking about,
which is possible.
Very possible, or that it is overrated.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's interesting. Now I've had this before.
Wow.
It's always interesting coming back to something that you've had before. That palate is so different than the nose for me.
Yeah. And so different than the bottle and bond, those higher proof whiskeys.
Yeah.
We're starting in at 80. Not gonna blow your head off by any stretch of the imagination. Soft. So
it could be considered Tennessee whiskey or a bourbon. You need to have 80 proof. And this is bare minimum proof.
Right.
And it's double charcoal filtered.
Right.
So what they're going for here is smooth.
Right. And, volume sales. Again, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a fan of drinking in volume responsibly.
What do you think? Do they achieve let's go with just a very simple question. Do they achieve their goal of getting as smooth of a whiskey as possible?
I mean, it is incredibly smooth. It's so smooth, it's almost sort of disappearing. But if I'm looking for something that is just I just want to drink whiskey, but I don't want to have it grabbing me by the taste buds and screaming for attention. I just want something to sip at for a while, and I want something that I can sip at for a longer period of time because it's lower proof and I'm going to get more of it in before it starts to really hammer me. I think they've achieved that. We keep coming back to it. This is soft.
It's really soft. It's almost like weeder soft.
I mean, I think it's because you said cobbler, but now I'm getting a little lemon in there almost.
Ooh, I'm going to look for that.
And I'm going to come back to that buttery vanilla brown sugar.
Butter is right on the money.
Yeah.
This is butter, guys. It's very buttery. I don't know if it's light. It's more, it's
really coating the
rich.
mouth.
Yeah, it's rich. It really pulls off a really good coat. It's actually kind of impressing me I think this is a $35 whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, again, mine evaporated. I don't know why that keeps happening.
I don't know how to do it. Please help yourself.
All right, well. But no, as something that I'm just going to sit and sip at, And I'm not going to be like poring over it and thinking about every sip that I take. This is just something to sip at while I'm doing something else, while I'm chatting, while we're gaming. You know, this is a very approachable bottle.
You know what? I thought when I first started drinking this, I was thinking that this was disappearing really quickly. But what's happening for me is I'm getting the initial buttery hit. Then there's some other stuff, some citrus.
Yep.
And then it is going a little bit quiet, but then coming back for a longer finish that's just really subtle. So it's not...
Yeah, I'm feeling the same thing. It's sort of lingering on the lips and the tip of the tongue.
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit more in the back. But
I don't think it's just that I'm drinking too much.
That's never the case. Okay, so when I first drank this, my opinion of it wasn't low, but it wasn't super high. I thought, okay, all right, I got it. I know what they're doing. I know what they're going for. So let's sell an 80 proof. Let's double char it. Little gimmicky.
I think, but I don't know. Maybe you know better than I do. This is basically the same thing they'd be putting into the Jack Daniel's bottles, except for that extra filtration.
Ooh, that's a very good question. I think it is.
So we'll have to research that and double check on that. But
we'll research that. If this clip makes it into the video, then that's true.
Yep.
My impression of it now is elevated than where it was. My second opinion of this is why you always come back to whiskeys.
Yep.
Always come back to whiskeys.
Yeah.
If you do not like a whiskey and you're emotionally anywhere between disappointed and devastated, depending on how much you paid for that whiskey, always come back to it. So you rest it, you cork it, you cap it, you put it back on their shelf, and you wait for a while. Because not only will time let that whiskey rest, but I think much more importantly, what you've eaten, your mood, the company, everything else that comes out. Set and setting. Whiskey is a Rorschach test.
Oh, absolutely. It's what you bring to the bottle as much as what the bottle brings to you. Yeah, it's absolutely that. As you come back to it, you know, what's this whiskey right for?
Yeah, I don't think it's gimmicky. I think it's actually really, it holds its own little place. I would put it more niche than gimmicky. You drink this, pay attention to it for the first time you drink it.
Yep.
Look for butter. Look for that. It's got a little bit. I mean, I'm getting oak on
apple.
Yeah, a little bit of red apple. It's got a little oak on the back end of it.
Yeah.
For me, it lingers in a more woody, nutty sort of area.
Yeah.
But it's not going to punch you in the face. How do you feel about this as an introductory whiskey?
Oh, very, very approachable.
I agree with you. This is a good starter's whiskey. In fact, I might say that this may be one of the best starting whiskeys.
And, you know, I've had this on the rocks frequently. And for a lot of whiskeys, that's kind of, you know, verboten to put it on the rocks and drink it like that. That's exactly where this one belongs.
I don't think there's anything wrong. Drink whiskey the way that you want to drink it. This is very drinkable. This is like dangerously drinkable. Thank goodness it's only 80 proof.
Yeah, that's right. That's its saving grace.
That's its saving grace. It is a pretty bottle. They did a good job with that. It is approachable. It is easy to get, and it is affordable at between $30 and $35, generally speaking. So,
overall rating.
Overall rating. Oof. As a whiskey, with taking away the price point. Overall
forget the price point for right now. We're just talking about as a whiskey. As a whiskey.
It's pretty unique because they are really, I thought it was a little gimmicky at first, but now I'm kind of appreciating what they're doing. They are making it a whiskey all about the experience of just having whiskey in your hand without that bite, you know, that sort of ethanol hit and that burn. And I like the way you talked about like it tugging on your taste buds. Yeah. It doesn't have any of that, but the complexity is not there for this at all.
Right.
So it is a soft, slightly sweet, mostly kind of a little bit citrusy, oaky. It's not a mixer, in my opinion. I wouldn't want to mix this with much. I wouldn't mix it. It's going to get buried.
Yeah, it'll disappear into whatever you mix it with.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe as a cocktail. I wonder how it would be with a lemonade. If you wanted to do like a Lynchburg lemonade,
good thought.
Put enough of this into it to give it some punch.
I think that's a good idea. Lemonade can be sweet or it can be a little sour or both.
As you think about rating it on the,
okay,
A, B, C, D, S tier scale.
Okay, compared to other whiskeys, just in general, I think it's like a C plus B minus for me.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. I think it's probably a solid C. But then I have to acknowledge that there's times a solid C is exactly what I want. I don't want the complexity of an A or an S tier whiskey. Yeah. I want a good solid C drinking whiskey, and that's what this is. So there's nothing wrong with being a C tier whiskey in this particular sense.
They are going for this whiskey to be what you're not thinking about. It's just a nice background experience.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the hero of your scene.
No, this is a good supporting actor. I'm not even going to say best supporting actor. This is
this is a good supporting actor.
It's maybe a little bit more than an extra.
So this is going to be your background character. They're going to help set the stage of your party. They're going to be a really good introduction to other people who are a bit squeamish about heavy hitting whiskeys, just in general. It's got that sort of Tennessee, it's got that Jack Tennessee thing, but it is smoother, it is butterier, and I like it.
I like it too.
I like it. I think I'm going to go with a B minus.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my C plus, with the caveat that a C plus in this context is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. Now let's talk about value, because it's on the cheaper end of whiskeys. I got it for about $35. So let's talk about it at that price point.
So at that price point, again, it's sort of, what am I going for? Since we just did the Evan Williams bottled in bond. This is not, I would much rather have the Evan Williams bottled in bond. I can get almost 2 of those for one of these.
2 of those for one of these.
If what I'm going to be doing is really focused on sipping the whiskey. If I'm just going to be drinking it, this might be a better fit.
This is, for me, both are shelf worthy. Yeah. In my opinion. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond for me is a higher value. You're getting a higher proof point. You're getting a lot more bang for your buck as far as flavor. This is going to be a niche, a real niche thing. My overall value, because $35 is very affordable. And also, what goes into the value statement all the time is how readily available it is. Because I don't like it when people say this is such a great value for a bottle, but you can't find it unless you travel, right? So this is, for me, a really high value for what you're getting. I would put this at, I'm willing to say a B plus.
Yeah, you know what? I think I put this one in the, you think about, you know what you're getting and you know you can find it. This is a Chick-fil-A. It's at the upper end of fast food. It's solid. Nobody's going to pretend that it's, haute cuisine, but it's solid. You know exactly what you're getting, and you're going to find it everywhere. You're going to find it except on Sundays.
It's a good bottle, guys.
Yeah.
If you're out there wondering whether or not you should pick up this bottle for $35, think about the niche that we just talked about, right? It's buttery, it's a little citrusy, a little appley, and it is, the nose is nice. The nose is very pleasant. The palate is very soft, buttery. They really do achieve that sort of low proof, twice filtered thing that they're going for. This is a set it and forget it. Like, you put it in your glass and just do something else and have this in the background. It's not going to burn you.
Put it in your glass again, and then the bottles go. That's the only problem with that $35 price point, is this is going to disappear quickly.
It's going to go quickly, and you're going to find that it's not probably going to give you a lot less, like that heartburn, that Kentucky hug, Tennessee hug on the way down, because it is low proof. It's not bold. It's not complex.
Do not make this the centerpiece of your whiskey tasting event. Unless you want a foil to show you what real interesting, complex whiskeys can be. But as a drinkable whiskey,
oh yeah,
top tier
drinkable whiskey. And on top of that, mixer, I don't know. We have to test it out as a mixer, but I would venture to say that it would be a decent mixture, but not a phenomenal mixture.
I would agree. I mean, it's too soft to really stand up to much of anything, so it's going to have to be something where it just sort of blends into the background along with everything else.
Exactly, which might be exactly what you're going for. Yep. If that's what you're going for, grab it. $35. You're not going to regret this for $35.
No.
You're not going to regret it. But just be aware that you're not getting a whiskey that is going to need digging into.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody, for watching our bottle review of Gentleman Jack. Double mellowed. You don't have to click home, but you can't stay here.
See ya. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching our bottle review of Gentleman Jack. Twice filtered, 80 proof, $35. Double mode.
Yes.
This is not going to make it into the shot. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching our bottle review of Gentleman Jack double mellowed.
One more time. This time with 4-part harmony and feeling.
Nope. Thank you, everybody, for watching our bottle review of Gentleman Jack. You don't have to go home. No. It's okay.
You want me to do it this time?
You do it.